noted 5 important questions related to English speaking, which I'm going to answer for you today. They're on a piece of paper inside the book. The first question, how much time does it take to learn and improve? And I'm going to answer that through a video. So watch this quick video clipping and then I'll see you after it. Now, if you look at my journey, okay, I was rejected in 2002. I think it was towards the end of 2002. And then within 3 months, so 3 months is the amount of time I took. Okay, I, was not really fluent, but within 3 months, I could speak in English. I would not say that I was perfect. However, I could manage to speak in English, and people did not really realize after those 3 months that I was insecure about, making errors. I could kind of carry off, okay, as somebody who is able to talk in English. And then after, a little more practice, I applied for the same job, and then I got selected in August 2003. I still remember, okay, the interview process. There were about, I think, 8 to 9 rounds, and we were many people, okay. We were like maybe more than 40 people, and I was a complete fresher back then. So they were, after every round, they were eliminating people, okay. And I was really nervous, okay. And I knew that at every stage they were checking for communication, fluency, pronunciation, and so on, okay, and comprehension. So I was like really scared and I was crossing my fingers, okay. However, after completing those 8 or 9 rounds, I think it was 8 rounds and then 9th round with the final person. And then when I got selected, I was so happy. I called up my mom and I was like, Mom, I got the job. I didn't even negotiate the salary. I was very happy with whatever they offered. At least I got the job. Because I got rejected. That same company had rejected me some time ago. And I was like so thankful, okay, that I finally got selected. So that's how my journey began, okay, and it was a call center. And then once I, started working there, okay, luckily my job was to interact with people from the US. So I used to speak with them every day. Now, initially I was not that great, all right. There were a lot of words that, over the phone they would correct us on. For example, like, though I used to say insurance earlier, so they would be like, no, it's insurance. And then a lot of, different, other names, for example, okay. Charlotte and Sarah and then Diane. So I learned a lot of those names and a lot of phrases, okay, that they would use. And after those 2 years of speaking with them continuously, as soon as I became eligible to apply for an internal job posting, I became a communication trainer. In fact, you'll be surprised to know, okay, that the moment I was trained, when I got selected for the job and they were training me, I was just in awe of the communication trainer, and I was like, this is what I want to become one day. And that's exactly what I became. As soon as I saw that there was an internal job posting, I applied and they selected me. And after that, of course, I learned many more rules, many more ways of training people. However, what I'm trying to tell you is that when I actually improved, okay, for myself, it took me 3 months of rigorous, practice. Okay, I practiced quite a bit on a daily basis. I used to speak in front of the mirror, and then I used to speak with as many people as possible, be really observant. So now to answer it's for everybody, okay? It's not a generic thing, okay? That, today you start learning and after 3 months, everyone else will improve, okay? It doesn't work like that for everybody, okay? Different people take their own amount of time. It really depends on what your level of English is as of today. For example, if you're someone who is able to understand English and who can even speak, but you make some grammatical errors, then you'll probably be able to improve quicker. However, if you're someone who needs to actually learn to understand people who speak in English, who's really not refresh their basics quickly, then obviously you'll take slightly longer. However, everybody can improve, okay? If that is your ultimate goal, that you want to be able to speak in English, then why not? I mean, we all can improve. The only thing I would say is just don't feel embarrassed, because every language is great, okay? Just because today you can't speak in English does not mean that you can't speak in English like ever, okay? And my heart goes out to people, okay, who are so talented, right? And then they would not get a job because they were not able to communicate fluently. Because let's admit it, if you are, especially in a call center job, okay, like I was trying to apply for a call center job, and then, I obviously couldn't speak fluently, so they did not take me. So it also depends on the requirement of the job, and I really, really wish that, people stop looking down upon people who are not able to communicate fluently. However, it's okay. It's just about yourself. Even if I think most of the nice people would not do that to you. So don't feel inferior, and start practicing like right now. Okay, from today, if you're really motivated to learn English, and if you really want to improve, or wherever you want to get the job, if you want to get a job in a call center or any other company, a technology company, I think at every point they will like people who can communicate effectively. Because as and when you grow in the same company, they would prefer to hire, to take somebody on for a manager's role also, who can communicate effectively, to influence or to positively impact their people. So again, coming back to the time, 3 months is what I took. Everybody, can take different, can take different amount of time depending on how much we're practicing. What is more important, grammar or pronunciation? Well, I think both are equally important, and in fact, I feel that sometimes we are so focused on grammar that we forget to give importance to pronunciation. Let me tell you, for spoken English, okay, spoken English is a lot about how you sound, how polished you sound, and how many emotions you're adding to your voice, how's your intonation pattern. So, all of these things really matter. As to pronounce my words, I was not really sure if they sounded good. So I worked on every consonant sound, every vowel sound, and I made sure that I started to intonate, because intonation can really make a difference, okay, to the way you sound. So to sound good, I feel you gotta give equal importance to pronunciation, and at the same time, I would say even add comprehension and fluency. So if you actually combine all these four elements, grammar, pronunciation, fluency, and comprehension, you will overall be able to do a great job, okay, when it comes to spoken English. How can I learn? Now you see, I have the book right in front of me, okay, because this is what I followed, okay, to learn. And I've even written this, okay, in the book, that I followed these things, exactly what I wrote in the book, to be able to learn and improve my own English. And that's why I will recommend this personally. Now, though I would say that this book is for those people who can understand English, who make a few grammatical errors and who are not fluent, and they just want to become fluent in English, okay? Like somebody like me, who used to make errors, who was not very great with pronunciation, and I was not regular with fluency, okay? I never used to speak in English. So this is going to be extremely motivational for you, because it has basic rules. Now, sometimes we feel that, oh my god, we have to learn 1,000 rules of English grammar to be able to speak. Well, if you keep learning rules, when will you start talking? That was my take on it, okay? Even when I started to learn, there were so many books and so many difficult concepts, and I was like, I don't want to do a thesis, okay? I just want to know how to speak in English. So I, wrote very basic notes, and that's exactly what I've shared in this book. Very basic rules, very basic examples, notes, techniques, okay, practicing techniques. So if you follow the curriculum, okay, to the core. You will be able to speak fluently. As soon as you, after you complete the book, you will start practicing, and then I think it's almost like a 3-month plan, okay, that I've made for myself. So the book is exactly, it's 168 pages. Even if you read, let's say, 2 to 3 pages per day, that's all that I'm saying. And I think within 3 to 4 months, at least you'll know all the basic rules. That is the idea of the book, guys. Once you know the basics, whenever you make an error, you will be able to correct yourself. That is the idea, really, okay? That's what I did, okay? But because I knew the rule and I knew if I was making an error, I would correct it. Even till date, if you see my videos, so when I talk on the spot, like I'm talking today, whenever I make an error, I would correct it on the spot. That's just become a habit now. Because we are not native speakers of the language, okay? And it's not our first language. So it's okay, we're bound to make errors and we should not be penalized for it, okay? It's fine. So the time you can correct it and the other person can understand you, that is what is important. So, looking at the book, now simple concepts, activities, and you're going to be refreshing rules. Also, one thing that I have written in the book is that, you need to focus on fun, okay? Simple, fun techniques. You don't have to make it complicated for yourself because complexity is not needed, okay, when you're learning English. You just need to, learn those simple rules, construct sentences, and speak smoothly. That's the idea. Now you might think, oh my god, Neetu's making it sound so simple. But that's how simple it is. And that's how I learn. Because if you give me anything complex, I would get a headache and I would probably have a cup of tea, maybe I don't know how many times, and then I would not want to learn. So really guys, to learn, make it very simple. Just read a couple of pages every day and practice only that part. You don't have to practice everything because too much knowledge sometimes can also be a little difficult, okay? Because when you have too many rules in your head, it's very difficult to remember all. So it's good to know the basics, become fluent, and then you start to research on the more complex rules. So as of today, if you ask me, I do research, okay, when I'm writing and when I'm, otherwise when I'm an instructional designer. So whenever I'm doing my job, I regularly research, okay, on a couple of grammar rules, punctuation rules. But that has started, to come in now. For me to be fluent, I honestly just need these basic rules. That's all. Okay, so that's one. And one more surprise, by the way, when you read the book, you will also read an incident that inspired me, okay, to write the book. Now you must be wondering, what if I'm someone who is not able to understand basics, who needs guidance? That's fine, that's fair enough. In that case, I would suggest you either join an institute or you take somebody's help, or take tuitions who can help you out and at least get you to the basic level. You can even recommend that they can train you using the book, okay, because the book is really simple, and if they train you using the book, it'll be very, very easy for you to learn. That's my take on it, okay, and it's just my advice and my suggestion, okay, because when we're learning something, so many people have so much advice to give. So go with what your heart tells you to do, okay, and then once you reach that basic level, you will yourself understand the book. Other than that, pronunciation. Now, I have focused a lot on pronunciation in the book because pronunciation is really important, okay? So what you can do is when you're reading the book, if you have any questions, you can write to me on Happy to Earn. This is why I created the channel, to talk about life, to talk about motivation, to help you guys. So if you have any questions on English speaking while you're reading the book, I'm right here, guys. Put your question in the comment section. I'll either make a video or I'll, write a response to your comment. And yeah, that way you can learn. You have a constant person to help you. Now, when I was writing this book also, I knew that, people will have questions and it's not easy, okay, because it's a language. So I am right here, okay. I look at your comments and then I also respond to emails that I get on the email ID, happytoearntraining@gmail.com. I am also training 2 people, okay, who are subscribers of the channel and who are reading the book. So I'm helping them out with their journey of learning English, and I really want, everybody to improve. Okay, my idea is not, to just tell you that okay, this is how you can learn. I really wish that you all improve and you all have a beautiful journey, okay, of learning the language. Okay, so the next question is, How do I know my errors? Now, I know I constantly say that you must be able to identify your errors. Now, you can only know your errors once you know the basics. So the basics are in the book, and the basics are, something that you have to focus on. Okay, we all need to know the basics to identify the errors. Now, and to know the errors, you can record yourself. So when you're speaking, you record yourself, and then you're able to figure out, okay, what's correct and what's not correct. And even if you're not, I'm right here. What we can do is, you can probably write to me at happytourtraining@gmail.com, and I can help you identify your errors. I'm already, like I said, training two people. So when I talk to you, I will know whether you need to work more on grammar, more on pronunciation, more on fluency, more on comprehension, or what are the areas, okay? What are the type of errors that you can make? For example, I'll tell you my own error, okay? When I started learning it, this sometimes, it is there even till date, okay? So I'm very conscious about correcting it. Initially, I used to talk really fast. So, all those, when you know your error, you can correct it when you're talking, okay? So similarly, if you, let's say, eat up certain words, okay, sometimes people don't use articles like a and the. So I'll be able to help you out with identifying the errors. Otherwise, you can also take, your friend's help, okay, somebody who speaks well. You can ask them to identify your errors. So there are a lot of ways, guys. Very important part is to be independent in learning the language. No one's going to, run after you to be able to help you learn. You have to do it yourself. I did it myself. Though I tried to observe as many people, okay, all the friends who used to speak well, I used to observe them very carefully. And I mean, it was like, you got to be independent when you're learning anything, okay, and when you're learning English. The next steps are that, if you're somebody who is struggling to improve spoken English, but you understand the language, then please read the book and write to me. If you want to connect with me and you want me to help you identify your errors, I can help you out. It's called the Buddy Up Plan, okay? Even till date, okay, in our big corporate companies, we use this Buddy Up Plan to get people to the level of performing the job. So similarly, if you want to learn and you don't know where to start from, you can talk to me. However, I would recommend that first read the book to refresh your basics, and especially the pronunciation part. I know you need help with that. I'm already uploading videos where I'm training two people, okay? I have already started uploading videos of one person, Mahesh. So in that, I'm trying to help you out with how pronunciation is learned, okay? How consonant sounds are learned. So you can watch those videos. If you still have questions, you can write to me and I can help you identify your errors. And then eventually I hope that all of us are able to speak effectively and while respecting, okay, all languages. So yes, guys, I hope my video was helpful. And in case you want to pick up the book as soon as possible, then the affiliate link is mentioned in the description section. And please do keep writing your comments and write your feedback. And I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.